Hi, I'm Gloria Strode and welcome to Straightforward. Today we are going to visit with one of our mothers from Columbus, Mechelle Virgin, who lost her daughter to teen domestic violence. Welcome, Mechelle.
Hey, how you doing, ma'am?
I'm doing well. I want you to know I'm so very proud of you and how you've tried to move forward in a positive way after the tragic loss of your daughter.
Yes, ma'am.
In our many conversations, we've talked about the fabulous Destinee,
yes,
because she's a Carver girl like me.
Yes, ma'am.
So that makes her brilliant, just outstanding,
yes,
and I want to commend you for being a single parent, raising a beautiful young lady.
Thank you.
To graduate from the wonderful Carver High School.
Yes, ma'am.
And she was set to go into the Navy.
Yes, ma'am.
So that's a major feat. I do want to commend you on that.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. And so tell me about Destinee as a baby. You sent me some pictures. She was so beautiful then, and I mean, just developed into a beautiful young woman.
Yes.
So when you first laid eyes on her, it was a love like what? You never knew before.
It was truly love at first sight. I named her Destinee for so many reasons. I was at a dark place in my life at that point in time when I had her. But Destinee, she was, when I looked at her, I said, this is me. This is.
It brought joy.
Yes, ma'am.
And so how old were you when you had her? So you were a teenage mother.
18 years old.
18 years old
yes,
when you had Destinee.
Yes, ma'am.
So you were kind of growing up and
myself.
Raising her yourself.
Yes, ma'am. We grew together.
You grew together.
Yes, ma'am.
And so that was why you had such a special bond.
Yes.
Yeah. And so she graduated from Carver.
Yes, ma'am.
What year was that?
This was last year, 2018.
Okay,
yes,
so
ma'am.
she did.
She just graduated.
Right, and so she was prepared to go into the Navy.
Yes, ma'am.
She had already done the research on that.
Yes, ma'am. She had took the practice test, and she was headed on. She was on her way there. Yes, ma'am.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, how wonderful! And so we want to make sure we give credit. So you co-parented
yes,
with her father.
Yes, ma'am.
Who lives here in Columbus as well.
Yes, ma'am.
And so as growing up as a teenager, when she needed to reach out and talk to Dad for some, advice, she could reach out to him.
She can call on her own and talk.
She could call on her own. You never denied him or her the right for them to develop a relationship.
No, ma'am.
Well, I commend you on that. I really do.
Thank you.
And so you expressed to me when we were preparing for this show, and I know you're still in a very delicate place. Every mother that I know just can't even imagine being in your shoes. But you shared something with me about wanting to bring the message on teen dating violence.
Yes, ma'am.
And you shared a picture with me where your baby, Destinee, and we always say baby, because if she lived to be 100, she would still be your baby, right?
That's right.
Destinee would be asleep, and her boyfriend at the time
yes, ma'am.
would be watching her sleep.
I've woken up to get ready for work in the morning, and Destinee, she had to get up another hour later to go to school, and I'm listening to doot, 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 doot. It's a noise in the background. It's the FaceTime, they're on the phone FaceTime, but she's asleep. He's in the background playing the video games. That's a sign of controlling.
Yes, it is.
That's weird. Something is wrong with that. She had to go to school in the morning.
Right.
Destinee had rules, and I enforced them with her. She wasn't a child that was out there in the streets like that. So she had a time to be in the house, a curfew. So of course he knew this. He knew she wasn't gonna walk back out that door at a certain time. So there was no need for that. Something is wrong with that.
Right. And those are warning signs.
Yes, ma'am. Those are warning signs.
And that is something that you said you wanted to help other families,
yes, ma'am.
Mothers, to recognize what some of those danger signs are.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
And so when did she start dating him?
She started dating him at the beginning of senior year.
Really?
Yes,
so
ma'am.
it was a new relationship?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, my.
It was
so
just
it wasn't
about a year
like
old.
they started in middle school
No,
and
ma'am.
just, oh, my.
No,
so she had just
almost
met
a year
him.
old. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
She had just met him. Yes, ma'am.
And then when she tried to discontinue the relationship, he was not accepting.
They were back and forth for a few months, but after the alleged kidnapping, and I say that very loosely, she was a totally different person. And I mean in a more darker place. I can tell in my child when he was in the picture and when he was not, because Destinee was a totally different person when he was not in the picture, and she was just sad and depressed, did not want to go anywhere. It was like she was in hiding, you know, and like she was forced upon this relationship once she wanted out and once she realized that, hey, because they have to realize it on their own.
Right.
No matter what you say.
And that's where parents, we go wrong.
Yes,
If it's
ma'am.
the person that you really don't care for, the worst thing you can do is to keep talking to the child about it, because
Yes,
it's
ma'am.
like the forbidden fruit.
They're gonna
if you
go
say
bite it.
don't get the apple, they want the apple. They
Yes,
got to
ma'am.
test it out.
Yes, ma'am.
And so you were very, you know, attentive
Yes,
when
ma'am.
it came to her.
To that situation.
Right. She had curfew.
Yes, ma'am.
You had house rules.
Yes, ma'am.
I mean, she had supervision.
And that's been always.
Always.
I was raised that way, and she was raised that way as well.
Yeah, because I've heard from some of our mutual friends
Yes,
that, that you were a disciplinarian
Yes, ma'am.
and hardworking,
Yes,
and you
ma'am.
instill all of those great values into Destinee.
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Right.
My baby was wonderful.
Yeah, and so the boyfriend, we won't
The
call-
ex-boyfriend.
the ex-boyfriend,
Yes, ma'am. They was broken up at the time.
right?
Yes, ma'am.
Came. He is from the Columbus area.
As far as I know, yes, ma'am.
Okay, so she didn't go on a trip somewhere and meet him. She didn't meet him
ma'am.
online. He
No, ma'am.
actually came from our community.
Yes, ma'am.
Right, and they were just back and forth for about a year.
Almost, yes, ma'am.
Okay, right at her beginning of her senior year.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Had she dated other people before this?
Yes, ma'am. She had one more serious relationship before this relationship here, but Destinee just was. All she did was work. Destinee went to
Right.
school and worked.
So how long has she been working? Because
Since she was
I hear
15.
you always, you know, you're a working person.
Yes, ma'am.
So you trained her up to
Yes,
be
ma'am.
responsible.
Yes,
And
ma'am.
she started working at 15.
Yes, ma'am. She was
And so-
babysitting since 12, but working in the work field, Destinee started as soon as she could get that permit. She was out the door.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
And so she worked all through high school?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So she was disciplined.
Yes, ma'am.
She
Very.
really was.
Yes, ma'am.
And she had a vision.
Yes, ma'am.
And she had a goal.
And she had dreams.
Right.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
she had dreams. Okay. And so when she graduated,
Yes, ma'am.
you know, you said they were in and out, off and on. Was he there at the graduation?
No, ma'am.
He wasn't there.
I'm trying to think. Was he? He was still locked up.
Okay. So
was-
the
he was still locked up.
attempted or the alleged kidnapping,
He was still locked up.
he had been charged for, or arrested, not charged, for kidnapping her, or he tried to hold her in a place against her will?
In April, the alleged kidnapping. Again, I use that loosely.
Right.
Destinee. This was April 26th. During the alleged kidnapping, a month later, that's when she graduated. I'm sorry. What was your question again? Because I know
No, that's okay. No, that's okay. I just wanted to know when the alleged kidnapping happened. Okay, so it was her almost before graduation.
Yes, ma'am.
Did he hold her at his apartment or somewhere in the car? He
Okay.
wouldn't let her go. How did that come about?
They went out to eat.
Oh, okay.
So when it was time for her to meet curfew, she said it was time. She was ready to go home. Fight erupted from there. He didn't want to take her, and that's when he started placing his hands on her.
Okay.
When he was done hitting on her, her face was badly bruised. She had a black eye. Her whole left side of her face was swollen, busted eardrum. Because once we found her, we took her to St. Francis, and all that was discovered. But that's why he initially didn't want to let her go home, is because what he did to her face.
Really?
So, yes, ma'am. So
So
for
he-
almost 2 days, we didn't know where she was at.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
ma'am.
Oh, that's really horrible to
Yes,
have
ma'am.
that happen. And then, but what we're going to do right now, Ms. Virgin, we're going to go to our first break to our sponsors, and then we're going to come back.
Okay.
But I want you to relax, because I know this is very difficult for you, and I can't even imagine.
Yes, ma'am.
But you're doing an excellent job.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll be right back after word from some of our sponsors. Straightforward is brought to you by Chalk by Quincy introduces Excellence Redefined, timepieces of the finest technology, luxury, and class with tons of style at chalklifestyle.com. Renal Associates LLC, a team of physicians dedicated to excellent kidney care with 5 convenient locations to serve you: Stark Avenue, Columbus; Bradley Park Drive, Columbus; Lafayette Parkway, LaGrange; West Washington Street, Eufaula; and Spring Street in Warm Springs. Vanessa Jackson's District 3 Successful Scholars Program, supporting students in achieving academic excellence, outstanding citizenship, positive social and cultural growth, believing in success for kids. Dr. Sheikha Shaw Family Medicine, connecting your health to your future. Dr. Shaw prides herself in providing compassionate health care and establishing long-lasting relationships. Conveniently located at 2827 Warm Springs Road, Suite 3B. Call her today at 706-324-4177.
Walmart's reason for supporting Thurgood Marshall College Fund is simple. We like to win. And we have been given a lot of exposure to some incredible talent. And we also believe that it's a part of our responsibility to the community to give back. This is a great opportunity to do both. It's been a wonderful experience for us through the years. We've appreciated our partnership. We believe in return on investment, and we have definitely had a remarkable return.
History is important because it shows where you're coming from and where you're going. Type 2 diabetes is something that runs in my family, which means I'm at risk. In fact, 1 in 3 American adults are at risk for developing type 2 diabetes. And knowing this, if I do nothing, that family history becomes my family's future. And my family is too important to me for that. Take the risk factor assessment today at AskScreenKnow.com.
And welcome back to Straightforward. I'm continuing my conversation with Destinee Virgin's mother, Mechelle Virgin. Miss Virgin, you are a brave, strong, beautiful
Thank you.
Black woman of substance.
Thank you.
And when we went to the break, we were chatting. You're a better woman than me. I mean, really, you are. And I admire the way that you're trying to hold it together, because that is what Destinee would want you to do.
Yes.
To
Absolutely.
win the war.
The right way.
Yes.
Yes,
She
ma'am.
wants you to do it the right way.
Yes, ma'am.
So no one can call into question
Yes, ma'am.
anything. And so that's what we have to keep before us. So let's go back to in the spring. She went out to dinner with him. When it was time to go, he didn't want her to go. And
Yes,
he
ma'am.
physically abused her. She had a black eye. He busted her eardrum.
Yes, ma'am.
And this was all before graduation.
Yes, ma'am.
And so 2 days later, you all find her.
Yes, ma'am.
And then you take her to the hospital.
Yes, ma'am.
And as by the law, they have to report when it's domestic violence and that kind of thing.
Yes,
and so
ma'am.
he was arrested
Yes,
for
ma'am.
that.
He was not arrested. He was not charged at that time for felony kidnapping and battery. That was a couple days later when they caught him allegedly shooting in traffic at random cars. That's when they charged him with felony kidnapping.
Really?
When they first initially arrested him, they got him for something dealing with the police, and because they knew something happened with that situation, they just went ahead and took him into custody. So he wasn't
Really?
charged until a couple days later with
Really?
yes, ma'am, with the kidnapping.
So
and the
it was
battery.
another incident that occurred with him that led the police to go on and bring the other charges.
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am. Him shooting at random cars on Florida and Fort, allegedly.
Allegedly shooting at random cars.
Yes, ma'am. It was on the news.
Okay, Floyd and Forest, and
Yes,
that's
ma'am.
in the news.
That's in the news.
All right, so
Yes,
we're
ma'am.
not
This is not something I'm fabricating or
right.
making
We're
up.
not making up anything.
No,
That's
ma'am.
something people can Google and find out for themselves.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so then he was in jail for that.
Yes, ma'am.
And so Destinee, our beautiful Carver girl,
Yes,
she went
ma'am.
on and graduated.
Yes, ma'am.
In the crimson and blue.
Yes, ma'am.
And that was a great day. You all celebrated,
Very much so.
and she was happy.
And she was very happy.
And
I
you
was
had
too.
great pictures.
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for my baby. I'm glad she at least got to graduate.
Exactly.
Because it was a very tough year for her. Senior year was rough for her. It was rough for me. So I'm glad my baby got
As
to
a
graduate.
parent, people don't understand when your child is going through, I don't care whatever age, you go through what they go through.
Exactly.
Right.
I felt my baby pain.
You all had that great celebration.
Yes, ma'am.
So what did you all do after graduation? Did you have a big family dinner? Did you have a graduation party? What did you do?
Graduation party with one of her god sisters. We collabed it together. They had a backyard graduation, barbecue,
Really?
DJ.
Just family
Yes, ma'am.
fun.
Yes, ma'am.
So she was able to be happy.
Yes, ma'am. She was happy.
And just have a great time with
She
her
was.
family.
She was.
Right. And so let's move on to when he was released on bond.
Okay.
All right.
The second time.
The second time.
Yes, ma'am. Cool. Actually, the first time was he got on OR.
Uh-huh.
Okay, that was
On
when-
his own recognizance.
Yes,
or
ma'am.
whatever that is.
Yes,
okay.
ma'am. Then the second time is when they released him. That was for the felony kidnapping. He got a $50,000 bond then.
Okay.
So then he's out. Destinee slowly started changing. At first, I heard the rumors, that he was out, And they did. I happened to call that day to the police station because every so often I would call just to make sure he was still in there. And he was actually getting processed out at that time. So then I seen in the next few days how Destinee started dressing. She didn't want to be back out. She was back in the house again.
She was afraid.
Yes, ma'am. She was. So Destinee went through a lot of different changes. Not want to do her hair, not getting dressed.
She was depressed.
She was depressed. I mean, I had to force my baby to eat. Just laying in the bed all day long. She deleted all of her social media. Not wanting to be around her good, close friends because she didn't have a lot of friends. But she touched so many though. And Destinee didn't want to do anything. She was not herself. Just very sad.
So do we know? Do you think he threatened her, and that was why she just retreated to the house?
Yes, ma'am.
He did.
Yes, ma'am.
And so she knew being home with you was a safe haven.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Because at one point I had quit my job. That's how serious that this whole situation got.
Really?
Yes, ma'am. This situation had got totally out of hand. Like I begged for help last year when we went to court for that kidnapping charge. I begged the system, hey, please, this is, and I said that, quote unquote, this is a toxic situation. Please help me. We had protective orders against him. What do I do next? How many times are we gonna give this kid a bond for him to come out into the community and the community is no longer safe?
Right. And so you asked that
Yes,
in
ma'am.
open court.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. And you had to what? Walk away with your baby, quit your job so you could protect her.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's what you did as
Yes,
a
ma'am.
mother.
Yes, ma'am. For one whole month, I was home with Destinee, and I took her to and from school. I mean, senior year, like I said, the last month of senior year, Destinee, I had to take her to the school to take her test. She didn't take her test in the classroom with everybody else. She took her test up front, thanks to Miss Phillips from Carver High School. It was the way Destinee was. She was not fit to come to school.
Really, she was in that much fear
yes,
for her life.
Fear and physical shape. She was not.
Yeah, depressed.
Yes, ma'am. She was not, and her face was still badly beat up. So they told her.
So
okay.
her eardrum
was busted.
her
Yes,
black
ma'am.
eye,
Yes, ma'am.
and her face.
Yes, ma'am.
Really. So, did we ever hear from his parents?
Did I ever hear from him?
Did they ever try to meet with you and say, we're sorry?
Oh, no. Oh,
Never?
No, ma'am.
Okay, they never tried to do
No.
any of that?
No, ma'am.
No apologies or?
Only thing I've ever heard the mother say was that I told Destinee to leave him alone, or just something to that nature.
Okay.
Nothing like.
Nothing to intervene?
No, ma'am.
To try to assist?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Well, what we're going to do now is we're going to take a break. We're going to go to our sponsors, and you are doing an awesome job, and I appreciate you sharing, because hopefully this will help other parents, and they won't have to walk in these footsteps.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We'll be right back after word from some of our sponsors. Straightforward is brought to you by Warrior Outreach. Contact Command Sergeant Major Retired Sam Rhodes or Kathy Rhodes. The Hugel Foundation, enriching the community through Christian music support, community outreach, and the Georgia Through Photography Project. For more information, call B at 706-568-6431. Progressive Funeral Home, family owned and operated since 1952. The George Ford legacy of high standards continues today in the compassionate and professional services provided. A touch of dignity for those who care. Progressive Funeral Home, 4235 St. Mary's Road. Trusted by generations. East Alabama Endocrinology, educating and caring for those living with diabetes in Alabama and Georgia. 1400 Bradley Lake Boulevard, 3320 Skyway Drive, Suite 602, Opelika. Take charge of diabetes and live your best life. State Senator Ed Harbison, serving the citizens of Georgia's 15th Senatorial District and on the front line for veterans every day.
Walmart's reason for supporting Thurgood Marshall College Fund is simple. We like to win. And we have been given a lot of exposure to some incredible talent. And we also believe that it's a part of our responsibility to the community to give back. This is a great opportunity to do both. It's been a wonderful experience for us through the years. We've appreciated our partnership. We believe in return on investment, and we have definitely had a remarkable return.
History is important because it shows where you're coming from and where you're going. Type 2 diabetes is something that runs in my family, which means I'm at risk. In fact, 1 in 3 American adults are at risk for developing type 2 diabetes. And knowing this, if I do nothing, that family history becomes my family's future. And my family is too important to me for that. Take the risk factor assessment today at AskScreenKnow.com.
And welcome back to Straightforward. I'm continuing my conversation with the mother of Destinee Virgin, our beautiful Carver graduate that was a tragic victim of domestic violence. And her mother, Mechelle Virgin, is working very hard to sound the alarm so other mothers and parents won't have to walk this path.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's not an easy path to
Not at
walk.
all.
But you have great friends, one of my favorite people.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's how I met you.
Yes, ma'am.
So I do know that person is 100% for real, and they are in your corner.
Right, solid.
And they're always going to help you on this journey, so we can count on that.
Yes.
You are trying to do community awareness events.
Yes, ma'am.
You are doing community talks. We're going to be doing some workshops.
Yes, ma'am.
You're going to be going on other media outlets, but we have to be very careful, as I said, because you still have the trial.
Yes, ma'am.
So here recently, the young man was in jail.
Mm-hmm.
He was not, an indictment was not brought, as I understand.
Right, before his 90 days.
Before his 90 days.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
so he was allowed to get a bond.
Yes, ma'am.
And so he's out on the street.
No, ma'am, he's not out on the street. He just received a dollar amount bond, which was kind of low to me, but
Okay. So he has to raise that amount. And if he gets that amount, he can be out on the street.
yes, plus the property.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So at this time, but at least he has that option.
Yes, he has an option to get out.
Okay. So the day that he attacked your child and took her life, it was on Macon Road.
Yes, ma'am.
People have heard about it in this community and all over the nation.
Yes, ma'am.
How did that happen? Was Destinee leaving work? Because you know she always worked. She was smart. Everybody says that.
Right.
I did my homework.
Yes, ma'am.
So she worked at several of the local fast food restaurants.
Yes,
and
ma'am.
I mean, 2 years at one place for a teenager, that's good.
Yes,
2
ma'am.
years at one place and then worked at another.
Yes, ma'am.
And so what happened? She was en route somewhere and he just happened upon her, or you think he was following her? What happened with that?
Because we have not went to court yet, that I can't
You can't
disclose
really
that.
say.
Yes, ma'am.
But she was not with him.
No, ma'am.
She was minding her own business.
Yes, ma'am.
That's what I want to say.
Yes, ma'am.
They were not in the car together.
No, ma'am.
She was doing her own thing, whatever she was doing,
Yes, ma'am.
wherever she was going. He was in a different vehicle or whatever, and
Right. They just made contact.
in the public.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. Okay. And it was Macon Road.
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Well, that's
Well,
that's not an initial contact, but yes, ma'am. That's
Right. So it's really, yeah, that's Macon Road that turns into Winton Road.
Yes, ma'am.
So we have people, because people will be able to see this in East Alabama as well.
Okay.
So they might not be familiar. So
Okay.
that's why I want to make sure. So this is actually near our school district building.
Yes, ma'am.
The Macon Road Library
Right
and
across
all
the
of that for people to understand where that is. So
Right.
my point is, Ms. Virgin, it's a very public place.
very public.
I mean,
very
that's
busy road.
Aflac
Very
is
busy
on
road.
Winton Road,
Right.
which Macon Road turns into Winton Road. So
right.
it's not like it was in the corner, in the dark, at the park, or
Broad-
something like
broad
that.
daylight, ma'am.
Broad daylight in a very public place.
Right.
Right.
Very busy road.
Right.
Lots of
but she
witnesses.
was not with him. She was trying to get away from him.
Yes, ma'am.
And then that's when the tragic incident happened.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so where were you?
I was at work.
You were at work.
Yes, ma'am.
So someone called you at work?
Someone came and got me off the line.
Okay.
And told me go to the break room, check your phone.
Mm-hmm.
I go to the break room, check my phone. It's a lot of missed calls, a lot of text messages,
Mm-hmm.
and my phone steady ringing as I'm trying to check. So I answered the phone, and I don't even remember who it was, but they were just like, your baby's been shot.
Really?
Yes, ma'am.
So did someone drive you to the hospital?
No, I drove myself.
No, that should never happen. That was dangerous for you and others, which I know you are a very responsible person, because before bringing you on here, I made sure I did my homework.
ma'am.
Of course, you know, we have a mutual friend and
Yes,
they
ma'am.
vouch, but I just wanted to make sure.
Right.
But to have them tell you that and allow you to drive, they really should have sent someone with you. So when you got to the hospital, what happened?
I'm sitting around waiting, thinking that Destinee was in surgery. Police did come out, and she asked me, "Does your baby have any tattoos?" And I told her, and she just recently had got the first tattoo she got. I went with her because I wanted to make sure that, hey, this is a clean needle, this everything is good. The second one that she got, I wasn't with her with this one, and it's funny that the tattoo that she got is everyone's not loyal.
Really?
Yes, ma'am. And that sent volumes, because someone that you thought you loved and that you thought you could change, he was not loyal to you, baby.
No.
Not at all.
Right. And so they told you, and you thought she was in surgery.
I'm thinking that, yeah. All they said was your baby's been shot. They never said she was gone until like 12 o'clock that night.
And they just ask you to come to the room like they do at the hospital.
Right.
They just let you sit there, which is not a good experience.
No,
if they
it's not.
ever invite you to that room, that we kind of already know.
Right.
So going forward, you will take this message, we've talked about this,
Right.
to the community, anywhere that anyone will listen.
Yes, ma'am.
Because that's what you're going to do in honor of Destinee, to get the word out so other mothers and families will not have to suffer
Right.
this type of loss.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. So how can people reach you if they want you to come and speak? Because you're probably going to be asked to come to churches, other youth organizations.
Yes, ma'am.
And of course, we know we have to be careful because we're still awaiting trial.
Yes, ma'am.
But we can still speak about those warning signs,
Yes,
because
ma'am.
that stuck with me when you said about the phone, watching her sleep.
Yes, ma'am.
That's just a bridge too far.
It is.
So how can they reach you? I know you're on social media.
Yes,
how
ma'am.
are you listed on social media?
Mechelle Verge, VIRG. My daughter, I started a nonprofit in Destinee's honor. It's called Destinee's Peace, but it's in the process of being changed to I Am Destinee's Voice. But you
I
can
love
still
that. I Am Destinee's Voice.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Thank you.
And I need a T-shirt.
I got you.
Okay.
I got you.
2 eggs.
Got you.
I'm gonna work on myself.
You
Get
look
a
great.
little slimmer.
You
You
look
know,
great. You
get
look
myself
great.
together. But
look
yes,
awesome.
I do. I want one of those shirts.
I got
do.
you. I got you.
And then once we get that set up, we're gonna have you back.
Yes, ma'am.
I want you to keep the faith. Know that other mothers like me, some you've never met, we're all standing in your corner, and we're praying and we're uplifting you.
Thank you so much.
And I thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
All right. This has been straightforward. If you don't stand for something, you will fall for anything. Until next time, be blessed.